I had my own hamburger.
Yeah, Rick just had his own Carl's Jr. hamburger in Mexico, right? Latin America?
I know it was all Mexico, yeah. So if you went to Mexico, you could have bought a Rick burger.
A Rick burger.
Really?
Every Carl's Jr., yeah.
Damn.
And if you just saw the back of his neck, you think they should have made a hot dog instead.
I've ran out of cuss words, right?
Down on the strip where the neon glows, there's a little shop everybody knows, where history's bought and treasures are sold. Gold and silver, stories unfold. When the doors close and the lights dim low, Rick and Chum kick back, friends they get to know. Gold and silver by day, but at night, my friend, Pawn After Dark is where the stories and laughter never end.
Welcome to Pawn After Dark, where the pawn shop is closed and Rick and I chum it up with our pals. Today, Rick, we have TJ Lavin. I would consider him a good friend of mine. Is it okay to call you a good friend of mine? I love TJ Lavin.
More than me?
More than you, and I'll tell you why in a minute. So TJ Lavin is known for BMX riding. That's where you got your start. Inducted into the BMX Hall of Fame.
Yes, sir.
But more importantly, TJ Lavin has something you don't, Rick. 40 seasons of reality television.
Which cannot be as difficult as 21 seasons with you.
There it is. See that?
Well, TJ probably lives a great life. One of my favorite things about you, TJ, is just how kind you are.
Oh, thank you.
I always tell people when they say, "Oh, you're nice, you're kind," I say, "Well, if I'm trying to be as kind as TJ."
Aw.
So, one of my favorite stories that you always say, I don't know if you still do this, but I would imagine you do, is in your truck or your car, you carry around the tools to change tires for people, and in the 120-degree weather, this guy will pop over on the freeway, pull his crap out, and change your freaking tire.
That's nice. I've done that before.
So I'm basically sitting next to polar opposites.
No, I'm telling you right now, last year I pulled over and helped a guy put on a new serpentine belt on his truck.
That was in your little mountain town with no one in the probably 75-degree weather. You're a nice guy. I do give you that, but
That's pretty good.
it's pretty good, yeah. But Rick loves to turn engines as well. He is a grease monkey by heart.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, it keeps
you not only have an airplane, but you have cars.
yeah, well, no, the thing is, it's what keeps my sanity.
Ah, good.
I have issues.
So you have some cars. What's your favorite in the collection?
Probably a 64 convertible Vet. I like that one. 64 Vet. That's pretty dope. And then probably the 67 Lincoln's good.
Yeah, the Lincolns are
64
nice.
Caddy convertible is that one's like the crown jewel because I've had it for so long.
Well, you don't get too many days to ride a convertible in Vegas. It's either really hot or really cold.
No, summer nights.
Summer nights.
That's
all
the
right.
only time.
Rick, you love cars. Do you have a favorite car?
Well, the old man's 66 Imperial convertible. I love that.
All right, so both of you got a Lincoln on your top cars.
Oh, no,
right?
mine's an
The
Imperial.
60s.
Oh, an Imperial.
Yeah.
I had a Lincoln, but it was a piece of crud. I got it rebuilt, took it out the first time on Valentine's Day, broke down 2 miles from my house, right in front of the New Orleans casino, and I sold it like 2 weeks later. I was like, I'm done with these old cars. I'm done with them.
Okay, I'm going to tell you the world's greatest Chum car story.
Okay.
Chum had a Phantom. And
Phantom? What?
a Rolls Royce Phantom.
Jesus.
Okay.
Jesus.
I unfortunately
then,
had two.
And then it was at his house. Him and his buddies put like 25s on it or whatever, like the giant
24s.
giant wheels. Right?
24s.
And he drove it down the street, did a U-turn, and blew out both front fenders.
That's not true. It had a PlayStation in it. So, riding BMXs, how'd you get your start? You started here in Vegas? You
I'm
used to
born
ride
here.
Money Hills, right?
Yeah. I'm born here. I rode Money Hills, but before that, I rode a place called Honda Hills on Trop and Jones, Trop and Decatur, in between on Tropicana between Jones and Decatur. Now there's a park there, but back then it was just desert and it was just big jumps, and we would build them every time it rained, and then they would have to last until the next rain.
And would you guys bring out tractors, or were you shoveling these?
No, all shovel. all shovel.
shovels.
Dude, it's gnarly. So, yeah, that's what we would do every day. And then I lived on Valley View and Warren Springs area. So way out. And I would have to ride all the way to my middle school, which was Kenny Gwynn, on my BMX every day, and ride there, then ride back. And on my way back, I would hit the jumps every day and just stay at the jumps for like an hour, 2 hours, and then ride home.
Yeah, so this guy is doing backflips. I mean, what's the gnarliest trick that you were, doing in these competitions? I mean, TJ's known for BMX, and obviously he has 40 seasons of the challenge. But I mean, growing up, I used to watch you, riding in the X Games and stuff like that. Like that's where I first, became familiar with who you were, and then. Whatever, 15, 20 years later, I'm sitting in a home poker game with you.
Yeah, that was fun, huh?
So, like
I would do like backflip tail whips, Superman seat grab 360s, and
do you know what a Superman
wild
seat
stuff.
grab 360 is, Rick?
Yeah, I mean, I used to ride dirt bikes. I used to
Yeah, he
like,
knows what's up.
Yeah, I mean, like that's why I limp and stuff now because of all the stupid dirt bike stuff.
Can you
But-
picture Rick flying through the air doing a Superman?
Yeah.
I mean, not really.
Hell yeah.
Okay, so like back in the day, I'm talking like I got my first my first dirt bike in 1979. No one did a backflip back then because it hadn't been invented.
That's true.
Yeah, I mean, you were badass if you could do a tabletop.
Yep.
I mean, backflips are probably just really coming around like when you started BMXing, right? What was the evolution of like tricks when you first started? Where were we at?
The backflip was like in the movie Rad, and that was Jose Yanez. He was like not a very good BMX rider, but he could do a lot of body air awareness. So he figured out how to backflip a BMX bike, and then they hired him for the movie, and it was on. So that was like back then, and that's the first that I ever saw it. I'm sure there was somebody somewhere, some podunk town somewhere that was just backflipping on the reg, and but as far as I'm concerned, Jose Yanez was the first guy to do it back then. And then like the first time I ever did it was on Bonanza and Rancho and Bonanza. There's a place called the Rock Solid Rec Center, and it was like a skate park, but it was also a church. And if you went to the Bible study, they would let you ride for free. So we all went to Bible study, and we were just like, oh man, let's go. Like, let's go already. Like none of us are religious dudes. We just want to ride.
You're grinding
And
out Bible
they were all
study.
sweet, really, really sweet people. And we were like, all right, cool. Then we would go and ride all night long. And that like really honed my skills in the craft of riding BMX, because it was ramps. It was like big, huge vert walls and things that you didn't normally ride, but they're at this skate park in the middle of the hood, and it was awesome. and so it gave us a lot of skills and places to ride, and
Okay.
that's my first backflip.
Yeah, because like just when I was a kid on BMX bikes, I mean, we ate shit all the time. But how the hell do you practice doing a backflip for the first time when you're a kid and you really ain't got anybody to teach you because like you're like the first people doing it?
Yeah, you probably weren't practicing in a foam pit when you first started.
No, there's no
right?
such thing as a foam pit. No, there was no foam pits. There were nothing like that. What you did was you take a ramp, a takeoff ramp, and you bring it to the lake, like Lake Dolores or Lake whatever.
Lake Mead.
Yeah, whatever. And you put it on the dock and you send it into the lake, so that you'd put like floaties on your bike first so that your bike didn't disappear. And then you'd do the backflip. I did my first one in the water. It made sense to me because I jumped on trampolines, and I was really good at air awareness as well, and I could figure out my body and stuff, so it was no problem. But then I did the backflips into the lake, and then I remember it was 7 months later, I was at the skate park on Rancho Bonanza, and I was like, dude,
How old were you at this time?
today's the day. And I was probably 16.
Okay. All right, 16 years old. That's when you don't
Body's
have any
pliable.
brains. Lots of testosterone, not a lot of brains. All right.
No, zero brains. So then, yeah, my brain level at that point was not. It's probably the same as it is now. You know what I mean? Decline. Like the peak was like 30 or something. But I was like, today's the day. I got to get it done. Give me that helmet. So we didn't even ride helmets back then, you know. So somebody gave me a helmet, and I said, let me get those elbow pads. Like, so I was riding with nothing ever. So this time I had helmet, elbow pads, and knee pads, and then I just went and sent it. And the first one came around real fast, and I landed on the landing, but I was just too far back in the back of the bike, and I threw it. And I was like, oh my God, I just did it. So then I landed the next one perfect.
That's got to be a amazing feeling, because at the time, like, no one around you was probably like, that's the first backflip attempted out of your group, I'm sure,
pretty
right?
much I was the first one flipping in Vegas.
And that's
for sure,
where,
you know what I mean? So I was like, yeah, dude, like, we're doing this. So then every time I learned a new trick, it would be like, time to go spend money.
I'm going to translate real quick for Rick, because I'm not sure he knows. Do you know what send it means, Rick?
No clue.
That means go for it. Just do it. All the way. Go for it.
Yeah, he's my pop culture translator, yeah.
All right, well,
But
now
yeah.
you know. Use it 3 times and it's yours.
So what was it like, starting out BMXing in Vegas, competing, winning all kinds of different awards, competitions, getting inducted into the BMX Hall of Fame? I mean, that's got to be pretty awesome.
It was really cool, man.
I mean, I consider you like a pioneer of BMX. I know you probably have people where you consider them pioneers because you're in the sport, but it wasn't popular to people outside of the BMX world until you kind of got into the sport.
Yeah, I mean, I came in at the right exact time, the most perfect time you could ever have. And that's like with everything in life, right? Mm-hmm. Timing is everything. So, like, I just really got lucky that the timing was just so perfect, because I was 18 years old. My mom said, you got to get a real job when you're 19. And my birthday is December 7th. And this was November 24th. And I'm going to the Oklahoma King of Dirt, which is the biggest contest of the year. And that was 1995 is when the first X Games happened. So I watched it on TV, and I was like, dude, I can hang with those guys. Like, those are really good riders, but I can hang with them. Like, no problem. I'm ready. And so I was like, Nick Herda, who was, you're part of the family at Herda's here in town.
Yeah.
He knew a guy and was like, hey, I'll get you into that contest. Just go out there and kill it. And I was like, all right. So he did. He got me in, and it was 20 top pros and me. And I remember when the mail came, because we didn't have email back then. It was the mail, and the mail came, and I was waiting for it, like my invitation. I opened it up, and there's the 20 top pros, all X Game guys, and the people that I really, really worshipped, like Jay Miron and all these badass
Big
dudes.
names.
Yes, and me. And I was like, oh my God,
Surreal.
I made it. Yeah. And I was like, dude, I'm in the contest. Like, uh-oh.
Did it pay anything?
Yeah, I retired off that money. I'm still here. $500 I got.
So how did that contest turn out for you?
I won.
You won against all
dude.
your idols.
All my idols, all the bad boys. I won.
That's
so
gotta be
it was
amazing
it was
feeling.
crazy, because like I knew I was gonna win. Like, since the second
had that
I got
feeling.
the second I got that paper, I go, all right, this is it.
And then now, like, your idols are like, hey, this guy's for real. He's one of us.
Yep. That was it. I mean, they picked me up and they were like, dude, you're the man. Like, it was amazing. And Jay Miron, who I just went to his Hall of Fame induction because of this story. Like, I beat him. He just won the X Games. I beat him in my first pro contest. He didn't even know me from at all. I beat him, and he like picked me up and it just meant so much to me, and I loved him since that moment forever. He was like kind of a little bit rough around the edges to other people, but he was always cool with me. And so when he got inducted into the BMX Hall of Fame, I made a special trip to Tulsa, like for the Hall of Fame because I had to go watch this, and it meant so much to me.
Yeah, well, life is all about timing. You got into BMX like right at the prime time.
Yeah.
Rick, actually, I started working at the pawn shop prime time, and lucky for Rick, I was here because Pawn Stars would have never been a hit success without me. So Rick knows all about timing as well.
Chum was actually the manager of my Quiznos.
Yeah, I was running Rick's Quiznos before Pawn Stars started. I actually went, I think somewhere around 165, 175 days straight working. It was in the business district, so we'd open we'd close at like 5, and then I'd come over here and work till, when did we close then? 7. I'd come over here and work 2 or 3 hours every day after Quiznos because people would go home from the early shift. Then I'd come work full shifts on Saturday and Sundays, back to Quiznos on Monday. And I did that for almost like a little over half a year, maybe like 7-8 months. And then I did that for maybe 2-3 years, closed down Quiznos, came over here full time. And about a year and a half later, the show started. And, I mean, the rest is history. I mean, you know what it's like. We've been on TV about 16 years almost, and you've been 19 years. So, I mean, working in production, how is that for you? Working around all these producers and all this other talent. I mean, one of the cool things about the challenge is you do have like reoccurring cast members. So I'm sure you build relationships.
Yeah.
How does that work? Because you used to be on MTV, right? Now you're prime time as well.
We're both. Yeah. We started on MTV, and then we went to Paramount Plus because that's a streaming service, and that's where everything is going, right? So we did that. Now we're on network television as well, CBS, and that was really cool. I mean,
you
it
have
was
two
crazy.
things on Rick. 40 seasons and network television. Rick, TJ is just outshining you all day, every step of the way.
I do not have an airplane. I don't have an airplane.
He doesn't have an airplane.
I have a boat.
He has a boat.
But I don't have an airplane.
Well, you're wasting money on that too.
Yeah,
you guys are both wasting money.
Just money.
My Rolls Royce was at least worth it.
No, that Rolls
How much money
Royce.
did you lose on that?
That Rolls Royce was just,
the convertible. I lost a little money. The other one, I sold it for $20,000 less than I bought it for. I drove it around for like 4 years. And I bought it from freaking DJ Paul from 3 6 Mafia. It's the one they used to drive around on their reality show. It was awesome, dude. Like,
dude, I don't hate that idea.
I grew up like with like 3 6 Mafia. So like just to be able to like meet DJ Paul at the pawn shop and buy it from him was like so awesome for me.
How much was that car?
I bought one of them for $100,000. It was an older one, and then I bought my convertible for $250,000. And I lost some money.
$250,000.
Yeah, that was a dumb purchase.
That's a
I
big
know.
one. That's
I could have had at the time. That's like 2 houses at the time.
Could have had a rental home.
Yeah, 2 houses. That's what I look back and say. Like, I wasted money on cars, right? I could have had houses. I had Range Rovers, Rolls Royces. My favorite car was my BMW Grand Coupe 4-door M6. That thing was a badass 360 from a parked position. Had the Maserati Gran Turismo. I mean, I loved cars. I was never into the classic cars like you guys, but I loved fast cars. But now I just, I got my BMW like SUV thing, but I haven't drove it in months because I'm rocking my 2-door Jeep. Badass mother. Goes through anything. Me and Trap sitting right over there. My best friend got it stuck for the first time a couple months ago.
Oh boy!
And we
Did you get to use the winch?
No, it wasn't that bad, but I had him get out.
Don't you love those?
We're in the middle of the desert, so I had him get out, and I was like, let me get down this hill in case I roll and get hurt. At least you'll be out of the car and able to get help.
So every guy who gets his first Jeep and then puts a bumper on it with a winch is just dying to use the
They
winch.
can't wait for the winch use.
I had nowhere to hook it up to. I'm not going to lie. I wanted to.
Dude, where are you going to hook the winch up to? Like, what are you doing with that thing?
No.
It's so funny. Like, I see people driving all over town with tents on their trucks. Tents and winches and lights upon lights upon lights. I'm like, dude, those lights don't even work anymore, I bet.
Rick's Jeep is it's over tricked. He has like the whole cage on top with the family vacation platform on it to put all the suitcases.
So where do I live a big part of the year?
He has a 7,000-pound bumper on the back with a tire. Like mine is, I got steel bumpers. That's it. And I put the soundproofing inside of it. I got steel bumpers and a winch. And I put, I got the bumper with lights in the front and the back. I didn't do all the extra crazy stuff, the lift, but I went with the 2-door so I could like actually have a toy. Because the 4-door Jeeps are cool, but I have a city dweller.
I'm going to defend myself real here because like I have a place up in Oregon in the mountains in the middle of nowhere. There's we got to make our own power. Everything there's my closest neighbor is like 5 miles away, and if it's snowing or raining really bad, you can't get there in a 2-wheel drive car. Plain and simple.
That sounds pretty fun.
It's an awesome place. Dude.
Yeah.
No. So I mean, I actually need 4-wheel drive because if there's a foot of snow on the ground, I have to just power through a couple miles, not just a little bit, a couple miles of that shit to get to my place.
Now you know why he bought this ranch? Because his son Corey hates trees, and it's literally 100 acres of trees. So he just has a place without Corey to bother him.
It's not the reason I bought it, but it does have a lot of trees. Yeah.
There's a lot of perks.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, but it is awesome. Yeah, working in production is pretty crazy though.
Yeah,
mean,
I
we've done it.
love my people.
Do you work with the same crew?
No, not every time. It's crazy because we have like a few different teams essentially. Like there's a showrunner. The main guy is named Justin Booth. He's the guy that like did everything from the beginning with me, and so him and I work together a lot for the most part, almost always. And then when he has to take a break or he's doing something or whatever, or they have another show that they have to get prepped and go, they have other showrunners like Emer Harkin and other, Ryan Smith or somebody like that will come in and run the show as well. So when those people come, Justin is working on the main show because he's the main executive producer, but there's always different, teams or whatever. But we have like 20 countries represented from our crew because we'll pick somebody up, and if they're real good, then we keep them, and they travel with us. So it's crazy because half the staff doesn't speak English, but half the staff doesn't speak Spanish either. They speak Czech or whatever else, Thai. There's a lot of different, but a lot of them, almost all of them, have some English, if not all. But it's pretty awesome having people from everywhere.
So you know how to say good morning in like 20 different
Oh,
languages?
dude, I'm a 10 language guy for sure. Good morning, thank you, hello, all that stuff. So
All right. Yeah. So Tracy, brains of the operation right there. Yeah, she's been here, 11 years?
Almost 11 years.
11 years, yeah.
killing it.
Okay. And she's on no psychotic drugs yet.
Which,
Apparently you don't drug test over here at the pawn shop, huh?
so yeah, we work with a lot of the same crew as well.
That's cool.
But it's kind of cool
Very
because it's nothing compared to like a big giant production. I mean, we shoot everything here in the shop, and we got. There's like 8-9 people total in the crew that's here because editing and everything else is done somewhere. So we have like our 4 or 5 people that have been here forever, and then we have a few people that are in and out all the time. But like we got some main people that have been here for years and years and years.
Yeah, and that's awesome. And another thing that I was always jealous of with you guys is that you get to stay in Las Vegas and film.
See, that's funny because I'm jealous that you.
I know.
Rick, he travels the world, like Iceland, Africa. I mean, you name it. They filmed a season there. What were some of your favorite places or cultures that you got to visit while you were making this television show?
Well, I just got home from 6 months in Vietnam, or 5 months in Vietnam, and it was amazing. I loved it because you couldn't drive. You couldn't have a car. So I had to rent a scooter, and I rode a scooter everywhere. And it was amazing because me and every other Vietnamese person are just riding in one big school of fish, like just going,
like hundreds of scooters,
thousands, millions of scooters. It's 35 scooters for every one car.
Wow.
Yeah.
So the car's just like boxed in, can't get around.
No, you can't even drive a car. Like it's so pointless. You might as well. They don't rent them to foreigners.
Yeah.
So
no, I've never been to Vietnam, but like the worst traffic I've ever been in my life is like in Delhi, India. I wouldn't even ride a scooter there. It was just fucking insanity. There was just no other way to put it. I mean, like I looked over, there was 5 people on a motorcycle, an entire family on a motorcycle.
Yeah. That's in Thailand, or
you ever get culture shock going to any of these places?
Not anymore, but I did. Yeah, when I first started, I've been traveling since I'm 14. So I was riding BMX and going to Japan or going to Canada or going to Mexico, going to Europe. I went to Germany a lot, England. Things like that. But then when I started the show, I started going into these like other places that were a little more odd, like in Ao Nang, Thailand, or Krabi or Chiang Mai or anything like that. We go to like
more remote areas of the country.
Like, and then down south we'd go to Panama or Uruguay or Brazil or Argentina, Chile. You name it. We're down there.
And you're
We've
just
been there and we
about
crossed
5 months each stay.
Depends. Sometimes it's 3 months, 2 months. Depends on what kind of season it is, how many episodes we're filming. It takes 2 days to film one episode. Okay. So a 21 episode situation is a lot of weeks out.
So what was the so you're still doing the MTV and you're doing the Paramount Plus one?
Yeah, we're doing all three.
And you're hosting both?
All three.
All three.
Yeah. So
Paramount, MTV, and CBS?
Yeah.
Wow. What was it? What is that like? Are the productions the same on each one? Is the CBS one bigger? I mean, I know like CBS, you're using like Big Brother cast members and stuff like that. And so MTV, like, are the cast members all crossover, or do they?
Yeah, everything is crossover with everything now. It's all just muddied up. You know what I mean? We have everything from Survivor to Big Brother to Real World Road Rules back in the day.
Yeah.
To, you know what I mean? Everything is just all mixed up.
Well, the whole
and just-
TV like cable kind of collapsing and like the streamers coming up, and then you had all these streamers that can't make any money, and then it's just bizarre. I mean, then everyone cutting the cord, and then just like then you have it's kind of insane nowadays.
It really is. And I like thought about cutting the cord as well, but I was like, dude, no way. I'm part of this. I'm staying. So I kept my DirecTV and I kept all my stuff, and now I just downloaded Paramount Plus. You know,
still have DirecTV?
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Because I'm part of it. So I don't want to cut off my nose to spite my face. I don't care.
With me, I just don't watch television. I rarely watch television at night.
Yeah, but you make it, so you got to be a little bit of.
Well,
I mean, I own a lot of
more of a team player.
Well, but that's kind of. I think that's why I did so well in television because
I think that's true, Rick. You should buy both of us DirecTV.
Yep.
Yeah.
You should pay for both of our services.
I mean, and the one for the shop. You know what I mean? Like, we just got to keep this party going,
well,
dude.
no, I mean, I think that's why we did well on the show and everything like that. We've done well on the show forever because I'm that nerd that knows about everything, and you're not going to learn about everything, all the weird stuff in my head from watching TV. It's reading weird books.
Here's a good night to Rick. Sitting down, having a Diet Coke or maybe a regular Coke, reading a book like The History of Batteries.
I absolutely envy that. I really do. Because I get into a book and it puts me to sleep every time.
No.
I have a bunch of books next to my bed.
I listen to mine.
Yeah, that's smart.
I just finished the saga of the vacuum tube.
So we used to say
The history of vacuum tubes.
Before the show, we used to say, when are you going to put all this useless knowledge to work? Because we used to sit at the counter and he would just like tell us whatever crazy book he was reading. And we're like, well, yeah, Rick, cool. Maybe one day you'll actually be able to use this knowledge.
That is awesome. That's so cool that you have that knowledge.
Yeah.
Someday you'll go on Jeopardy and kill it.
I bet you like watch Jeopardy and see if you can answer all the questions.
I haven't seen a show. Is Alex Trebek still on Jeopardy?
No.
He actually passed away.
He passed away.
Okay, see, I don't like. Yeah, this is why my girlfriend tells. I have my girlfriend when I'm not with Chum to tell me about like popular culture and stuff like that.
He doesn't know anything about popular culture, which is why he's lucky to have me, because you can only film with so many swords or antique clocks, right? Sometimes you need some Pokémon.
Okay, so
sometimes you need some toys.
I know you know a lot about a lot, but I'm pretty damn sure you don't know nothing about Pokemon.
Oh no, I know nothing about Pokemon. Nothing.
Me neither.
Well, good news, because
one of us in this three knows about Pokemon.
I have a couple Pokemon packs, and after we're done talking, I think we could open them up.
Sweet.
And I'm going to post them on my Instagram.
Let's do it.
I have just a dedicated Pokemon page, so I thought it would be cool to open packs of Pokemon with a couple of legends, one having twice as many seasons on television than the other one.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Are they going to have Charizards?
They all have Charizard on the cover. Hopefully, one of them has a Charizard in it. That would be like super dope.
Because I can't even pronounce the names of these things.
Me either. I don't even know what a Charizard is.
There was like one of these cards games. One of the characters, they actually used his face in it.
Yeah. So there was a startup game. There was a startup game, and I just loved it and supported it. So they asked me, hey, we'd love to make a card of you. Do you have could you think about a name that means something to you? And I was like, hey, I have a name. It's Roscoe. That's my oldest pit bull who had passed away like 2 years prior.
And I remember him.
Yeah, they're like, okay, that's perfect. So it's a picture of me, and then Roscoe's on the card, and a famous Magic the Gathering artist drew the card, Mark Poole. It's freaking so awesome, dude. And it was like such an honor to have Roscoe immortalized in a card game, because I love I love playing TC games. Like I still play Pokemon. I played this game Cryptic. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, you might have
I
your own
love
card.
playing these games.
Yeah. But I had my own hamburger.
Yeah, Rick just had his own Carl's Jr. hamburger in Mexico, right? Latin America?
I know it was all Mexico, yeah. So if you went to Mexico, you could have bought a Rick burger.
The Rick burger.
Really?
Every Carl's Jr., yeah.
Damn.
And if you just saw the back of his neck, you'd think they should have made a hot dog instead.
I've ran out of cuss words, right?
Hey.
Director lady.
Shoot. Oh, dang.
Have I
Say,
made the
"Dang
cuss
it,
word count?
shoot."
I'm sure she's probably got a card over there. Yeah.
We love you, Rick.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, I've gotten skitty, okay? I've lost 50 pounds in the last year.
no,
look
you look
good,
awesome,
man.
yeah.
Yeah. And we were in a race
Both
to
of
lose
you
weight,
actually
but
look
like,
great.
yeah,
I
you started
put on
walking
about
backwards.
20 pounds over the last 6 months, but I'm back on my strict diet to take it down. So I started having, like, during football season, I started having a couple beers watching the football games. That's 3 days a week. But I cut the beer out, no more beers, back to zero sugar. Maybe 5% of my diet would be sugar throughout the whole week. No more carbs, no more refined carbs, and just back to chicken. I cut steak out a little bit because I think I'm getting arthritis in my old age. So I was eating like literally
How is
ribeye every
steak going to
day.
cause you to have arthritis?
And how did
I
you
just-
get arthritis?
I just,
Like-
I think ribeye I read about it and it says red meat just has the protein that triggers it. So I'm not fully cutting it out. I'm just cutting it out for the next couple of weeks. And I will say, since I don't know if it's cutting out the refined carbs or the red meat, and the alcohol, I did it all at the same time. It is better. I don't know. I have like arthritis in my elbow. It's crazy.
You know what causes that?
Working
Getting
with
old.
you?
Yeah, getting old, yeah.
Well, I'm sitting next to a couple of old fogies right
Dude.
here.
Well, see, at least
Dude.
mine, I got a story with all mine. It's all, every one of them's a motorcycle wreck. So, yeah.
Well, mine probably come from sucking and trying to be a skater when I was young and ripping way harder and never being able to land a single trick. I don't have a cool story like TJ where, I was good at what I did.
Well, him
but I
and
still
Corey,
loved it.
yeah, that's what they used to do. They used to go skateboarding all the time. Did you ever hear the story about how Corey and Chum met?
I didn't.
Oh, listen to this.
Yeah, we met in a fight. So my sister said, hey, this guy's picking on me. So he's a rollerblader. Can't
course you're
respect
gonna beat
that. Can't fucking respect that. So I see him at the park one day because we live a couple blocks away from each other. The park's right across the street from my house. It was my park. I owned the park. Like I'm there
You were
all
12.
day, every day. Yeah. And I owned the park since I was 7.
Yeah, of course.
And Corey comes skating down and I see him and we have this like long path where you come down this hill and you go down and the bathroom's right here. And then right when you pass the bathroom is this huge grass hill. So I see him. So I hide behind the bathroom. He comes out, boom. I just tackle him into the grass and then I get off and I go away and he's pissed. We meet up sometime within the next week or so and we ended up duking it out at the park, right? Pathetic. We roll around, we're wrestling, pathetic. Finally, Corey just gets me in this headlock, and I'm like, all right, I quit. Neither one of us will leave. We both sit on the benches, and neither one of us will leave. We just sit there forever. I don't remember who ended up leaving first, but I would guess Corey because I would spend about 14 hours a day at the park because my house was 2 minutes away. So, I mean, we sit there for hours, and we know all the same people. So it's like us just sitting there, and then there's like tables of everyone that we're all friends with. And after that, we became friends. Corey got in a few other fights, and he continually got in a fight with this big Samoan kid, right? And finally, like, it was this last fight. Corey's getting his butt whipped. I stop it. Corey goes back in. Finally, I look at the kid. His name's Jason. Dude, nice kid, but unfortunately, we were kids at the time. So I say, Jason, dude, you're whooping Corey, dude. Just be the bigger guy and go home. So Samoan kid went home. Awesome dude, later, became friendly and everything. Tough as rocks, boy. Tougher than Black Mountain right there. I mean, this kid was tough as tough. And Corey had no quit in him. So after that, we kind of became friends. And then we really became friends. We went to Job Corps together. We lived together many times. And but yeah, it all started from me tackling. Well, the end of the story that I forgot to tell you was, come to find out, he wasn't picking on my sister. He was picking on the neighbor boy that lived next to me. So I told my sister, I was like, listen, I'll do anything for you. But don't ever. I said, I'll get my ass beat. I'll go fight someone. I'm not a fighter. I'll go fight someone that I know is going to kick my ass if they're picking on my sister. And I don't like to fight.
Right.
but don't you ever put me in a situation for someone else again. Like, I'll protect you till the world ends, but I'm not protecting the neighbor.
Right.
They got their own family to protect
Yeah.
them. So my sister learned after that, never got me in a bad situation again. Although I've taken many L's for her over my life, and as well, she's paid back the favor and taken a few L's from me.
Oh,
so,
there you go.
Yeah,
Right.
so
That's what family's for.
So how many kids you got?
I have one daughter. She's 25, killing it. And she's a hairstylist at a place called Square up in Summerlin. And so she's just dominating the game. I love it.
that's good. Yeah.
Yeah, she's an awesome human. Just got a new house. She's bought a house, and she has 2 cats and a dog now, and she's doing the damn thing. I love it.
Well, I can't imagine anyone that you raised not being an awesome human because, I
Oh,
mean,
thanks, man.
like, you're one of the most awesome people I know.
Never said that about me.
Rick, you're pretty awesome, right? You're pretty awesome, but you can have a real conversation with TJ. If you want to have a real conversation with Rick, it has to be about Rick. No one likes to talk about Rick more than Rick likes to talk about Rick. And we love Rick for that. Like, Rick is a certain kind of cocky that you love. He's not the kind of he's like a humble cocky. He's very humbled, but he still loves himself and loves to talk about himself. And we love Rick for that.
I have no idea what you just said.
Rick is very humble, though. Like, he's the first to tell
he's
you.
real smart, so he has to be like, he's on it, man.
No, Rick is like extremely scary smart.
I
It's
know.
insane.
I know the guy. I know.
I don't even have to read the news when we're in here filming all week long. I just come in, sit down, say, what's going on in the world today, Rick?
Yeah,
Boom,
tell me
he
about it.
Gives me a 30, 45-minute rundown of all the news. I don't have to sit through all that televised
Nonsense.
drama. Yeah,
Well, the problem with the news is they never have any you see this is the problem with the world. Okay, everyone sees a 45-second story on the Ukraine war, but they don't know the whole history of Ukraine and Russia and everything that's been going on for the past 100 years there and everything else like that. We just hear what's on the headlines, and they don't. Okay. They just didn't run into each other. Let's start a war. There's a lot of stuff that's been going on for years and years. And everyone should take all that into context.
So you want to hear another thing about TJ that will make you jealous?
Oh God, here we go.
I think I can say this. He gets to do if he has any pickups or anything. Is it okay?
Yeah.
He gets to do them from his house. He has a recording studio at his house, and then how we have to come down here to pick something up, he gets to sit in his sweatpants and do it from his house.
They let me do audio pickups from home.
All right.
They don't let you?
No, I don't have a studio.
All
I've done a
right.
couple, but not a lot. So I wanted to ask you about. I just maybe wanted to talk a few minutes about music because you actually play the guitar. I know you taught yourself recently, if I'm correct, and I've not seen you live, but I've seen you go to open mic nights or karaoke nights, but you do your own jams, and I freaking love them, dude. There was a time when I would go on and look to see if you had posted a new song, or I would watch you rock out and stuff. Are you still doing that? How did
Yeah.
that come about? What's going on there?
Yeah. So I had a couple friends. I never knew how to play guitar. I always played piano. So I played drums when I was a kid. And then I started playing piano when I was probably 10. And then I went to college for piano at the community college or whatever. And after that, I was like, man, I really gotta learn this guitar. I never picked it up till I was 40. And then at 40, I was like, all right, I'm learning it. That's it. I don't care. So I drove all the way to a place called Hermanus. I was in South Africa at the time. And I drove the 40 minutes over the mountain to a place called Hermanus, where the nearest guitar shop was, and bought a guitar, came home, learned one note at a time from YouTube. And I said, that's it. I'm just going to learn one note at a time. And I did it. And it was crazy because I slowly learned how to do it. And then I there was no way. And I wrote songs since I was probably 15.
Okay.
I would be writing this music on airplanes,
Okay.
traveling with BMX.
Passing your time on. the
Yeah,
airplane.
just writing raps and whatever, just having fun. And so I have a whole catalog of music that is already written
Okay.
that I already knew by heart.
Okay.
I just had to make melodies to it all.
And it all has like feeling and emotion into
Yeah.
it because
And
it reminds you of the time that you wrote it.
Right,
probably.
right. And you can figure it out, and you're like, dude. So you just pick up the guitar. Now I can play guitar really well. Like, well, not really well, but like way better.
Yeah, you're pretty good.
7,
I mean,
yeah, like decent. 7
You know
years.
Eric Clapton, but you hold your
Yeah,
own.
no,
you know?
yeah.
Well, that's one thing I always wanted to learn how to play guitar, but then someone then I was explaining with fingers like that you can't, and then so I just sing now.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
sings
well-
with Brett Michaels, and Brett turns
Nice.
the mic all the way down.
Here's the
I've
thing.
been
Okay, so
there.
Brett Michaels has been a good friend of mine for years and years. So whenever Poison or Brett's in town, I always sing the last song on stage with him. But the joke is he turns my mic down a lot.
Literally, not a lot, to like 3%
Off.
Yeah, like I can't.
No,
even
you can ask Brett about it every time I get on stage. The joke is he turns my
awesome.
mic down a lot.
That is great. Here I am. Ready, guys? Turn this down real quick.
So
Yeah.
what's that like going to these open mic
So
nights?
yeah. Oh,
performing? 'Cause
the
you got a
open
like
mic thing.
huge
So
fan base.
I was scared to death, right, of the open mic.
You're scared to death of open mic.
Yeah,
and you're on
dude. Yeah. So
40 seasons of television.
yeah, man. Because I'll never watch myself. I've never watched my show.
Okay.
Like
That's like Rick. Yeah.
yeah, I can't watch it. I'm like,
I
dude,
don't want. Yeah.
I don't want to see it. I don't want to know about it. Like,
You lived
if
it.
you ever heard yourself on the answer machine, that feeling that you get, if you don't like that feeling, I can't stand it.
I
Like,
think I love to hear my voice. Like,
you do.
I mean, I don't think I always have, but I've just edited so many like videos. I've
Yeah.
gotten used to my voice. I think.
No, I can't. I can't do it. I mean, like,
Yeah.
well, like the season premiere of Pawn Stars, I rented out a big restaurant, invited everybody. Like 3 minutes in, I'm outside. Corey walks out. Dad, what's wrong? I'm like, this sucks. No one's gonna watch it. I'm fucking terrible. I'm just terrible. That's another on the check mark. Sorry about that. No, but like I just, and ever since I cannot watch myself. It
can't either,
freaks
bro.
me. I mean,
Me
I just
too.
go. I just think I
Cringe.
think I did everything wrong. I just
Yeah.
no,
So
when,
you're
when I'm
honest.
filming, I think I'm great, and then she says I'm not. But then, but I cannot watch myself. It's
So how do you muster up the guts to get out there on the first time on stage?
So yeah, dude. So I can rap good. So I was like, well, I'll just try my hardest. So I just played 3 chords, and I knew how to play those 3 chords. So I just rap the song to those 3 chords and try my best. However, like the feeling that it gave me, because I was so nervous and so worried and so scared, and there's like 20 people there. You know what I mean? It's nobody
Yeah.
there, dude. And so it's not a big deal. It's like, and everybody's there to support you, and everybody's there to be cool, and like they want to know, you know, what you got going on. So it's like you go in there and you do that. Well, the feeling that I got from that, I was like, damn, that was like writing, because the high after was like, oh man, I didn't get hurt.
And
But
you
then I
haven't
was
felt
like,
that in a while.
yeah, I haven't felt that, and so I was like, man, I like that. That was so awesome. So I went back and I did it again and again, and I just kept going back until I got better. And then now I can go to any open mic anywhere. And then in Cape Town, like I actually wrote a song in Cape Town about Cape Town, and the host at the time was a really badass dude, and he was like, I've been living here for 8 years, and I've been trying to write a song about Cape Town. And then you come here for 8 minutes and you write a song about Cape Town.
It's all
that just,
perspective.
he goes, I can't believe it. Like, that's the best song I ever heard about Cape Town. And I was like,
That's
thank you
gotta feel
so
cool,
much.
yeah.
It felt so good. And that feeling like was like winning a contest,
Yeah.
you know? So it was just amazing.
Chum wrote a song about how Twitter went down.
Yeah, I used to rap as well.
Nice.
Before the show, I rapped. I had music studios my whole life, and
Yeah,
I was sucked
in your
at
house,
it, but
right?
Yeah, where
Yeah.
were you when Twitter went down? If you guys want to watch the music video, it's on YouTube somewhere. It's really, really bad. It's really, really bad. Where were you when Twitter went down? Because, you know, when Twitter first came out, it used to crash all the time. So I would just like, it was more like a parody video, but it's super
That's
fun. I
funny.
just like to have a lot of fun.
Yeah.
You know, me
Yeah.
and my friends would just make stuff kind of like you. You know, I was always writing music, and then we always had some kind of studio at my friend's house. And then once I moved out of my parents, you know, I always had a studio at one of my houses. And then even up until like my last house, I had a crazy music studio. You know, we had
Yeah.
Rick
Remember
Ross
Jones, right?
recording,
215?
Wale recording, Riff Raff recording, and I just always liked to be around music forever.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, I don't have. I got machine tools.
Yeah, Rick's not, you know. Rick likes sea chanties. Do you know what a sea chanty is? Sing like a little sea chanty. Like
I can't sing,
No,
dude.
just like
Yeah.
give us like what it is. Like, you are the one who goes to the door, da 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 da. Like, right?
No, I had my sea shanty phase. Yeah,
Like, that's kind of how
I just
it
want to
is,
listen to
right?
them all the time. Yeah.
It's like this like.
There once was a ship.
Yeah, go for it. Let us hear it.
I can't think of all the
Let
words.
us hear it.
I can't think. You put me on the spot,
He's
dude.
never shy. Like Rick could, yeah. That's
Yeah.
one thing Rick doesn't get is nervous. Well, maybe he did get nervous when we did Lino the first time. But Rick asked me the first time we did Lino, he goes, "You're not nervous?" And I go, "No, I'm not nervous." He goes, "How?" I go, "Well, Rick, everyone thinks I'm an idiot on TV. So if I mess up, they're just going to think I'm being me. So I don't have anything to be nervous
Dude, there's
about.
zero to worry. Yeah.
No, but
Zero-
it
I
turned
had
out great
zero to
because
worry
like
about.
Leno came back to the green room, and we just immediately start. Like I started talking about cars, and then he sort of like he asked me a few questions for like to check. Like I said, I really know about cars, like I knew about them. But once we, like he checked my bona fides, like literally. So like every time I was at Leno, he would come back an hour before the show. We just talk about cars and motorcycles the whole time.
Beautiful, man.
Yeah, I mean,
I'd love to chat with that guy about cars.
I mean, he
Yeah, well,
knows
had a
everything
gnarly,
there is to know about them.
He had a
all.
gnarly motorcycle wreck a while back, but I think he's doing a little better now.
Yeah, he's doing all right now.
Yeah,
huh?
I mean, he's getting up there in
Mercedes Benz,
age.
the first car, right?
What's that?
Mercedes Benz?
I don't know what his first car was.
No, the first car.
What was
The first car,
Mercedes-Benz
that's kind of
1835,
debatable.
is it?
You know what I mean? But it was basically
18 something.
Daimler. Daimler, I think, built it. Yeah,
And Mercedes was the daughter's name.
yeah,
And Benz was the guy's last name, Kurt Benz, I believe, right?
yeah. And then
Something like that.
Yeah, then Diesel was the guy. Diesel was actually the guy that invented the diesel engine.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a conglomeration of all these weird things. There was multiple cars that claimed to be the first car.
Right.
But no, all those early cars were crazy. Like, literally when they had a flame, they didn't have spark plugs, so they just had a flame there.
Yeah. And then the I just heard the story. We were just talking about it. That's why it's so fresh in my mind. The guy's wife, he built like this crazy 3-wheeled situation, and it was like the first car. And the guy's wife took it to go visit her mom or whatever 25 miles away. And the guy came home and he's like, "Where's my 3-wheel? Like, where is it at?" And it was gone. And she would go and she would stop by and get whatever the alcohol that was used to
ignite it.
Yeah. But it was sold. It wasn't. There was no gas.
There was no
stations.
gas. Yeah.
But those were
Like
the first
ethanol
gas
or
stations.
something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those were the first gas stations.
The
Supposedly.
stock at your-
Yeah, and then she came back and he was like, "Where the hell were you?" Like,
I'm gonna stop at the Hypothecary. Is that what it's
Yeah.
called? Grab some.
Well,
ethanol.
yeah. You'd stop. There was steam. Some of the first cars were there. They had steam engine cars. And then it was just this. Everything changed when Bosch invented the spark plug.
And what year would that have been?
That was right around 1900-ish.
Okay, so
Yeah.
what have we got? Cars for 20 years before that, or what do we?
No, like during the 1890s, there was all kinds of weird little inventions and stuff that would like personal transportation things. But like, Benz is sort of like the first all-encompassing one, I guess. But the right around 1900, real cars started coming out. I mean, the other ones were they were just kind of one-offs, and people were building them in their garages. It's sort of like figuring out who did the first backflip on a bicycle. You know what I mean?
right.
Yeah, I guess there's a
'Cause
lot
you
of
never know.
nuances.
There's always somebody.
Yeah,
Somewhere.
but some of the cars they built like 100 years ago were insane. I mean, like the oldest car I ever had that I actually drove around was a 1918 Buick.
You had it?
Yeah, and
How was that?
it
How was
was
the
it was
power
absolutely
steering in
great.
that?
It had this weird belt drive system where you would pull a lever and the battery would turn the starter motor. It was actually electric start, but then when you pulled the lever back, the motor would start turning the starter, make the starter the generator. And I had the service manual for it. There was not one picture. It was all like typed.
So what's the oldest car you drove in?
I had a 46 Caddy.
46.
That
Caddy.
was
That's
it.
pretty old.
That's how I knew
pretty
about.
old.
Yep, the 46 Caddy was the oldest one I ever had.
A couple years after Rick was
Actually,
born.
I'm lying. I had a 31
31.
rat rod. It was
Okay.
a rat rod.
That's
But
crazy.
that was it was like a new Cummins diesel.
Okay.
motor.
Rebuilt.
So
cool,
it
yeah.
wasn't right. You know what I mean?
Okay.
But the oldest real car was a 1946 Caddy.
Yeah. Yesterday
That was
morning.
the first year.
Yesterday morning when I was I got.
That
I
was
was
the
out
first year they came back from World War. So I was like, oh, that's how I know the dates. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. So yesterday morning I was out in Pahrump and had to go get fuel for my new airplane. So I have the hangar truck, which is my 1941 Plymouth with it's 100% stock.
Damn.
Okay, it was
That's a badass
advertised
truck.
That's
with
sick.
87 horsepower. They were lying straight up. Yeah. So and it's like you got to
0
go
to
like
60 in
6
6
miles on
minutes.
just a 2-lane road. And I'm just cruising along, top speed, 35 miles an hour. Everyone honking at me. With
Nice.
a 55-gallon drum in the back of the truck. Yeah.
It's like the old man. Like back in the days when the old man was working the pawn counter every night, he had this purple truck he called Barney. What kind of truck was that?
It was a 55 Chevy.
55 Chevy. The thing went 45 miles an hour. He would
No, it went way faster than that. He just drove it at 45.
He would leave. So he lived off of Blue Diamond right there.
Yeah.
Right? And
By me?
Yeah, by you. And I lived off of Cactus. So, or actually, yeah, I lived down off that way.
Yeah.
I think, or I lived off of Russell at the time. So he would leave 45 minutes before me work. I would get off, and every day I would like pass him like at Tropicana, and there would just be a slow line, and I knew as soon as I approached that slow line, I know 95% chance Barney's up there at the front of the line, and in the middle lane every time. Sure enough, I get up there, and there's just big old line, the old man in purple Barney right around Trop. You know, I'm one exit away, and then boom, just clear skies between the old man, and people are just passing him.
I don't know who gave the
count
nickname. It was purple, so it was like Barney the dinosaur. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah,
That's awesome.
it was a classic truck for sure. So what about the gym? How's the gym going? Are you still doing the gym? This guy
gym's
has an
great,
awesome
yeah.
gym, dude.
Yeah. I
I've
work
been
out
worked
every
there,
day
though.
and still working out every day and trying to hang in there. Roxanne is still killing it.
Yeah.
She's the trainer over there, and
Well, Rick works out every day. That's where he gets this rock hard body.
Well, no, I've been trying to work out a lot more. Here's my workout routine, though. Okay, so I've been riding dirt bikes since 1979, and so I get on the treadmill, and then I stay on the treadmill until my knees start hurting, and then I go start lifting weights until other body parts start hurting, and then I'm done for the day.
perfect.
Yeah.
That's exactly all you need.
I will say one thing about Rick. He can freaking bench, dude. Like, he might not be the most endurance-driven athlete, but he's pretty freaking strong, dude. He can lift a good amount for his old age.
Yeah.
I'm not old. I'm 59.
I mean, that's pretty old
59
compared to these
still
two young
looking
bucks.
fine.
59 still looking
Yeah.
fine. Well,
Almost 60.
I mean,
But I'm really good looking for 60.
but you dress like you're like a mix
Amazing.
between like 28 and 60.
Do you get that? Was there Schoolhouse Rock on TV when you were a kid?
There wasn't, but I've heard of it.
No. But this was the coolest stuff in the world when I was a kid. First up, but it was Schoolhouse Rock. Conjunction, junction, what's your function?
Yeah, that was there.
I know
That was around.
Go ahead.
I've heard of that.
Interjection. Yeah, all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Interjection.
Never mind.
Like, what was the Schoolhouse Rock? Like, was it a learning show? Like,
Well, yeah, no. So Saturday morning cartoons. Yeah. So back in the day, the only time you ever got to see cartoons was on Saturday morning.
mornings. Right.
Yeah.
even when I was a kid.
I remember that.
And but they would pop up with these 3-4 minute cartoons, and they would have math and they would have English and history, and things like that. And they'd be little educational little cartoons.
Well, they should probably bring that back. I mean, kids these days their attention spans are getting crushed.
Yeah.
Well,
dude.
no, it's just they stare into
That
the
is
phone.
crazy, man.
They stare into the
Yes.
phone.
It's the phone. And I think parents are pawning them off on that too.
Yeah.
So they just shut up and.
I mean, forever,
this.
My nieces just gave me the call. They said, Uncle Chum, we want iPads for Christmas. And I go, iPads? They go, yeah, not those Kindle things. And I go, I don't know if I can do that. They said, Uncle Chum, you got all the boys' iPhones for Christmas when they were young. So my nieces are 8 to 11. My boys are 15 to 21. So, but the girls are a little bit of so they're old enough now. They didn't have them glued to them when they were young. A lot of kids are getting glued at 2 now.
No. I mean, it's just you go out to dinner nowadays and you look at a table and everyone's on their phones.
All of them.
Oh, when my kids
And they're paying to be there.
My kids, and I got a lot of them. Okay, like we'd go out to dinner, and like they picked up one of those phones, I'd flip out. They said, you want me to take the phone? We'll get it back a week from now. I don't pay all this money to go to dinner at a nice restaurant for everyone to just sit around and go.
You got to start
But
putting them in
people
a
do it all the
lock
time.
bag. Yeah.
It's tough.
Yeah, it's the whole thing I see all the time. Like nowadays, everyone wants to be their kids' friends and not their parents.
Well, TJ, I asked you to bring an item with you. Did you bring a cool item with you?
I did.
Let's see, what do you got here? Okay, what do we got here?
That is a key.
The key to your city. Okay, this is pretty cool. I think.
It's pretty cool.
I think we might have got one of these one time.
I'm sure you did.
When did you get this?
I'm sure you did. I got that. I don't know. Probably whenever the first term of Oscar Goodman.
So he even got his key to the city before you.
I got that from the first term of Oscar.
He
Goodman.
could have. Yeah.
TJ is just here to show you.
This is
up
not
all
a
day,
competition show.
Rick. So I asked TJ to bring something cool, something that meant something to him.
Yeah.
I just haven't had to find something in my pocket.
Yeah. I was hoping he would bring a BMX frame that he did a backflip on, but he probably would have to get up on the rafter.
I mean, that's
I hit him up
I'm
last
pretty
minute
sure that's
this
a
morning.
ceremonial thing going all the way back to like the Middle Ages, when there was actually not really a key to the city, but there was a wall around the city and a gate to a city, and it was sort of like symbolized like, hey, we're going to give you the key to the city. It wasn't a real key, but it was like, hey. It was like a free pass into the city.
And then you can go to any nightclub.
You're not doing that.
No.
I don't think it's probably hard to get you out past 6 p.m.
Dude, it's hard to get. I mean, what time is this thing?
Yeah. No, actually, I think we are going to wrap it up.
One more thing. I just saw this stupid little meme on Instagram where it was saying, like, when you were a kid, you got mad when you had to go to bed at 9 o'clock. Now it's a goal.
Can I see your key one more time?
I'll tell you what. It's real hard to be out past 9 o'clock. Dude, unless it's the Golden Knights game. I'll watch that.
I mean, I'm in bed by 9:30 most nights.
Yeah,
like,
dude. I'm
some nights if my girl's working, it'll be 7 o'clock, 7:30. I'm like, dude, you have no reason to go to bed. Find something to do for at least 3 more hours. And then like I'll wake up at 3:30, 4:30 in the morning sometimes. Yeah, and just crush it. So you do have one of these keys to the city.
Yeah, it's priceless.
TJ's is definitely cooler.
Why?
No, it's not.
Why is his cooler than mine?
It's the same.
No, it's cooler, dude.
Oh, okay.
Your accolades are skyrocketing above Rick's. It's amazing, dude.
It got me in here. It's a key. It got me in here.
The key got you in
got
here,
me in the front door. It worked.
This key is actually going to unlock the case to our key of the city, and you're now going to have 2 keys to the city. Since your accolades outshine Rick's by milestones, you're going to take our key to the city with you as a consolation prize.
Okay. Sounds great.
You are doing this podcast inside my building.
Rick,
my whole life is because of you.
Who gave you the key to the city?
It might have been Maryland.
We had to get ours probably about 14-ish years ago.
Yeah, I mean, Oscar could have been mayor at the time. I'm not sure.
I think it was right at the back end of Oscar's last term, but I'm not sure either. It was a long time ago.
Oscar was the greatest mayor ever in a city, wasn't he? I mean, the only mayor ever where you could have martinis with the mayor. Do you remember?
Dude, I felt so badass one time. I was at I used to be in a fantasy football league with Oscar.
Same.
So I think we were in it
the
together.
same one,
Yeah. So one time, I didn't know Oscar great, but he remembered. It was so cool. One time I was at the Capitol Grill eating lunch on a date, sitting next to the mayor, and then boom, the mayor takes a second to come up and like say, "Hey, chum, how you doing?" Da 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 da. Oscar Goodman comes over to my table. This is years and years ago. I just felt like, yeah. The mayor's coming to say hi to me.
I made it.
That's right. And I'm not an egotistical person. I like to think I'm pretty humble. That felt good.
He was the greatest mayor. I remember when
he's great.
He was like visiting like a kindergarten class or something like that. It was on the news, and they asked him, "So, Mr. Mayor, what do you do after work?" And he goes, "I come home, I drink 2 or 3 martinis, then maybe turn on the TV." And everyone gave him and afterwards, go, "You want me to lie to kids?"
And what about you, Rick? You gonna run for mayor?
No, I mean, like people have asked me forever, but why do I want to ruin my life?
Wait, you had a government job?
I 100% agree.
He had a government job. You probably would have loved.
I was the Nevada Off-Road Highway Commissioner. I hated it. I just didn't want to. I mean, like it was just. Oh, I couldn't stand it,
Dude.
But I got a badge.
Oh wow, damn.
Yeah, I was the very first Nevada off-road highway commissioner.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah. No, it wasn't. Well, it wasn't. It was just government bureau. I was just. I dealt with government bureaucrats and just insanity, and it's just like I couldn't stand it.
So I have a homeless friend. His name is Homeless Jack, and I go hang with him every day. And on one of the days, he was like, "TJ, when are you gonna run for mayor?" I go, "Never. I have a great life." He goes, "You know who's gonna be the next mayor?" I go, "Who's that?" He goes, "Rick from Pawn Stars." That's what he's gonna do. And so I was like, "Yeah, he'd be a great mayor. I'll ask him about that."
Yeah. Yeah. Generally, politics. It's like acting for ugly people who
Dude,
can't act.
it's horrible.
No. I mean, like they're terrible actors. They get up there and they just like what comes out of their mouth. You know.
I mean, I'm rooting for you to be mayor, Rick, because I'm pretty sure I could wiggle some contracts.
You know where the word? Do you know where the word politics comes from?
What?
Poly from the Greek meaning many, and ticks meaning blood sucking. I'm joking on that one, yeah.
Well, finally a joke that's not a dad joke. Congratulations, that was good.
That's not a dad joke?
No, that was good.
Okay.
That was awesome, dude.
All right.
You should tell that one at your bar when they have stand-up night.
I shouldn't say my pirate joke?
No, you should say that for another time. But I think we're going to wrap it up here. Okay. But before we wrap it up, I'm going to give Rick a second to just tell TJ anything you want to tell him about yourself, Rick. 'Cause I know you're dying to talk about yourself here before we end this.
Hit me.
I've never seen him at a loss for words, so I'll go.
Okay, all right.
Tell him about your hydroelectric dam for 2 minutes.
So I have so at my ranch, I rebuilt a 1952 Kaplan turbine, so I have my own little mini Hoover Dam that powers 3 houses. Plus, I got solar and wind turbines, and I have a 4,000 square foot shop.
And on that note, we're going to wrap this up.
Where is this at?
It's on the coast of Oregon, in the middle of nowhere.
It's beautiful.
Wow.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah, but I power everything with a hydroelectric power plant.
We were talking about like how times have changed. I rode in the back of a truck all the way to Gold Beach, Oregon.
Wow.
I am literally 25 miles north of Gold Beach.
Okay, cool.
Dude, and he lives like up in the mountains, so you're 30 minutes from the beach. You can go down and eat like crab, whatever, right there. But he's like up he lives like, has this little river. It's so cool.
I'm glad I got to meet you, Rick. I mean, we've been part of the same town for a long time, so.
Yeah.
It's good to meet
Vegas,
you.
greatest city in the world.
Yes, sir. The best.
Appreciate you, TJ.
My man.
I mean, I've known you for a while, but I feel
sir.
like I got to know you a little better here today.
I don't do the bump thing. I'm not.
How bad do you have to pee, Rick?
On a scale of 1 to 10.
I don't know. It's either small bladder or big prostate. I'm debating it. Yeah.
All right.
I don't know what it is.
We're going to wrap this up. We're going to all take a pee, and then can we open a pack of Pokemon cards?
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
All right. You just watched Pawn After Dark, episode number
2,122.
457. I don't know. It's number 1, right? Can we make it just sound cool?
Yeah,
We'll
the
go
first
like
one,
episode
dude, the
2401. Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah, we did.
How stoked am I?
Yeah.
The first guest on this badass show?
Yeah.
Let's
Yeah.
go.
This is Pawn After Dark.